Luca and Serena never imagined that their perfect life, built with love and dedication for over 10 years, would be turned upside down by a secret that no one could have foreseen. Their daily life was quiet, serene, made up of small shared joys and future projects. After years of difficulty trying to have a child, the couple had finally welcomed a dog, Max, a German shepherd with a heart of gold, who had filled the void left by a long series of disappointments. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. Luca had given Max to Serena in one of the most difficult periods of their lives, when every attempt to become parents seemed to crash against the wall of impossibility. Max had immediately become an integral part of the family, not only as a pet, but as a true companion, always present, always attentive. Serena had found comfort in his affectionate gaze and in his furry caresses. Every time she felt the weight of sadness, Max managed to make her smile. After years of failed attempts, one day the long-awaited news arrived. Serena was pregnant. It was a moment of pure joy for the couple. The emotions they felt were indescribable, almost incredulous that they could finally realize the dream of becoming parents. Max also seemed to sense the change in the air, as if he understood that something extraordinary was about to happen. But not long after the pregnancy was discovered, Max's behavior began to change. The dog, who until then had always been affectionate and playful, suddenly became obsessive toward Serena. He never left her alone. He followed her to every corner of the house. He watched her with a look that seemed more worried than relaxed. Even when Serena went to the bathroom, Max was there, sitting patiently outside the door like an invisible guardian. Serena and Luca found this behavior cute at first, thinking it was just a natural reaction from the dog to the change. But soon, what seemed to be a show of affection became a source of concern. Max began to become restless whenever Luca tried to get close to his wife. Every time he tried to hug or kiss her, Max would step in, growling slightly. It was as if Max was protecting Serena from something only he could perceive. Luca, although worried, tried to remain calm. He thought that the dog was simply reacting to Serena's hormonal changes, sensing the arrival of a new member of the family. But as time went by, Max's behavior became increasingly strange. He wouldn't let anyone get too close to Serena and seemed almost disturbingly overprotective. When Matteo was finally born, the couple's joy exploded. Serena held the little one in her arms and Luca was overwhelmed with emotion. Max seemed to have welcomed the new arrival with enthusiasm. But as the weeks passed, Max's obsession moved from Serena to little Matteo. The dog never left the newborn's crib, especially at night. He categorically refused to be taken out for a walk, planting himself in front of the door of the child's room and emitting low growls every time someone approached. Serena, tired and worried, she began to no longer feel at ease in the house. The nights were increasingly difficult. Every noise, every movement seemed to trigger a reaction in Max. Luca, who was trying to be rational, began to consider taking Max to the vet, thinking that the dog's behavior could be related to some physical illness. But the biggest concern was that Max was trying to communicate something that they couldn't see. After 2 months of increasing stress, the couple decided to take an evening for themselves. They needed a break, a moment away from their daily worries. So they asked Elisa, a dear friend of theirs, to babysit Matteo. Elisa was practically one of the family, and the couple trusted her implicitly. That evening, however, Max seemed more agitated than usual. He didn't want Luca and Serena to leave the house, barking furiously when they went out the door. Despite his worries, Luca managed to convince Serena that it was just a temporary reaction from the dog, but their dinner was abruptly interrupted by a phone call from Elisa. "Luca, Serena, you have to go home immediately. Max has gone crazy. He tried to bite me and I don't know what to do anymore." Luca and Serena rushed home, finding Elisa visibly shaken, Matteo calm in his crib, and Max, who seemed to have calmed down. But something didn't add up. Max had always been protective, but never aggressive. Serena was starting to feel more and more restless. What was their faithful companion trying to tell them? The next day, Luca remembered that they had installed security cameras in Matteo's room before he was born. He decided to check the recordings to see what had happened while they were away. To his surprise, he noticed that several hours of footage were missing from the nightly recordings. What was going on? Luca decided to install a new hidden camera in the room without telling Serena. That night, he checked the recording and what he saw left him speechless. In the images, Elisa could clearly be seen sneaking into Matteo's room. The woman opened a side window and entered the room as if she had done it many times before. But the real horror came when Luca saw Elisa open a small hidden compartment in the wall behind the closet in the room. From the compartment, Elisa took out a series of mysterious objects, documents, and electronic devices. Luca couldn't believe his eyes. The next morning, Luca called the police. The investigation revealed a shocking truth. Elisa was not who she said she was. She was a spy, infiltrated into their lives to monitor Luca, who worked in a sensitive government sector. Elisa used their friendship as a cover to access the information she sought. She had managed to maintain her false identity for years, betraying the couple's trust. Thanks to Max, the truth finally came out. The dog, with his infallible instinct, had perceived the danger that threatened his family and had done everything possible to protect them. If it hadn't been for him, Elisa would have continued to operate in the shadows, and Luca and Serena would never have discovered the terrible secret that was hidden in their home. This story reminds us how deep and instinctive the bond between man and his animals is. Max not only sensed that something was wrong, but he acted with courage and determination, saving his family from a danger that no human would ever have suspected. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.